I'm making a quick documentary about my time at the Glasgow Botanic Garden and the river walkway, which is here, which I've crossed this river one way and the next a few times, and I don't know which way is the way back to the garden, but this place is just so gorgeous and beautiful. I've always liked northerly areas. I used to go to Washington State when I was a kid, and I always liked Glacier National Park in Montana and other areas in the north. And basically this area of Scotland is the most northerly I've been in my entire life from a latitude standpoint, or is that longitude? Latitude, I believe. And just going through this is just simply gorgeous. Glasgow is one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen in my entire life. The buildings, the streets, the people, it's just really, really, really nice. And I feel naturally at home here, both here and in England somehow. I was talking to one of my Indian friends yesterday, and he says that in Britain he feels very comfortable as well because the British had a very strong hand in India's entire life in the last 250 years or so. And therefore a lot of the habits are similar, some of the manners, some of the customs like tea drinking. And in a way, a British person would have more in common with an Indian person than an American person would have in common with an Indian person. And being of American descent and being speaking the language of England and being of Indian descent, genomically and all, something about it really strikes me very beautifully. And I thought it'd be very cold here, and it turns out that it's actually not, or not compared to what I expected. I'm in here in the dead of winter, and not wearing gloves. I'm not wearing a hat right now. I'm actually very comfortable. It's not as cold here as it seemed. New York City is far colder. And what else can I say? Just look at these trees. Look at the beauty of just this nice stuff. Paul McCartney made a song about flowers recently, in the last several years, about British flowers. And he was playing it on the TV, and I had it on. And Mom said it's a very, very nice song. She liked the language. She liked the stuff he was talking about. She thought those flowers were very nice. Yeah, and that's the thing of Monet in his final days. He was painting pictures of flowers. There's this ethereal beauty within flowers that is very universally appealing, and it brings out a man or woman's better senses in so many ways. And the fragrance, it gives enlightenment to the soul, temporarily at least in terms of feeling. I should listen to that song about flowers again. And if you think about the Beatles' entire discography, so much of it was about love, which is associated with flowers. And as a miracle in a way, the Beatles released a new song in November of 2023. It's actually truly a Beatles song, and you can look at the history of how that song was made, but it is actually a Beatles song released in 2023. And I just felt like that was a huge blessing from God. I've listened to that song countless times, and I came to this striking feeling today, and which I'm not saying is the truth of the matter, but that might be the Beatles' best song. Oh my God, it is such a beautiful, beautiful song, and I'm thinking about it from Edenic times. It's called Now and Then, right? Now and then, I miss you. Now and then, I want you to be there for me, always to return to me. It's like the union, and it's just unbelievably gorgeous. There's so much substance in their lyrics, and the music serves to deliver and impart whatever messages it is that they're seeking, and they just do it so well. And of course, what attracted me to Liverpool was the Beatles. It's their hometown. That's where they grew up. That's where they spent maybe 20 years of their lives or so, their formative years, before everything else. And I must say, I'm in love with it. And this day trip to Glasgow turned into a 2-day trip because I got stranded here. My train got delayed not delayed, it got canceled because there were storms. And now I had the pleasure of, after having a good night's sleep, walking through this gorgeous garden. This is not even the garden. This is just a forest and a river walkway. But the Botanic Garden itself is just so nice. I recommend anybody come and check out Scotland. It's so nice, and it's so out of the way. It's there's Britain, but the main part of Britain is England. People use those terms synonymously outside, generally speaking, like me. And Scotland is just, I feel like I'm in Scandinavia, or in the Barbie movie, right? What's this? The one guy was asking Will Ferrell, the CEO. He says, "Is Barbie Land a place in your imagination, or is it like another dimension?" And Will Ferrell says, "Yes." They just say yes. I said, "Think of a town in Sweden." That's his answer about Barbie Land, and the way it sort of feels like that here. So, wow, these old buildings, you know, there's such a classiness to this very old civilization of Britain, Scotland, which is not always part of Britain, Northern Ireland, which I've not been to, which is not always part of Britain. There's something so special and beautiful about it. However, I'll add alternatively that Jed McKenna, he's a very unorthodox spiritual teacher, says that young, boisterous America is the best place for spirituality. He says that on the basis that it's less rooted in orthodoxy, and in that newness, so to say, you can live with a very enlivened spirit. In America, this is me speaking now, of course, is the land of the free, where you can cultivate any life you want and believe and do and think whatever you want, so long as it's within certain parameters, which are normally based in law, which are normally based on the idea of not harming others. That's, generally speaking, the only set of laws in America, at least historically. It seems to be changing in recent times, but for social causes and so forth. But that is not the point of this video right now. The point is to say that this area is beautiful. Now let's see. Okay, I don't know where I'm going. Main Botanic Garden. I'm gonna go this way. I think this is it. So basically, would I live here? I don't know. I know I'd love to visit. I'd love to spend a lot of time here. But I really like living in America. I really do. Maybe it's because it's my home and I'm used to it. Maybe there's something that suits it better for me. Maybe I'd be happier here. I don't know. But I wouldn't consider moving. But I would consider visiting for very long periods of time. I'll tell you that. Coming as a tourist, where I'm not fully immersed in the society here, is very different than actually living in a place. Living in a place will bring its own challenges and its own benefits that, as a tourist, I'm completely unaware of. So if I come and just look at the nature and think it's fantastic, that is very true to a large perspective of what the place may be like, but it doesn't necessarily speak to the reality of actually living, although it could. Living could be better or worse. What I certainly do know is that I don't know where the main arboretum is, and that's fine. I'm gonna end up on the street, start going in the direction of the train station. There's a beautiful set of city streets. The streets here are just so nice. And there's a place called the Kelvin Museum. And all the stuff here is free, which I found very nice. And I'm gonna probably check that out. Kelvin Museum of Art. So, all right. Army Reserve Center. The local Scottish infantry unit. Check that out. Isn't that nice? Look at these buildings. That's so gorgeous. My goodness. Oh my God. The Viking looks like a pub. I'm gonna go there. All right, peace out.